Welcome, family, to another spiritual awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green Sr. You know what to do. Tag, share, text, share, and tag. Let your family and friends and frenemies know that we are streaming live. Thank you for taking our time in your schedules to drop by. Whatever time of day it is, whether you're watching me live or in replay, I am thankful you took our time with me, and that you have positioned yourself to hear what the Creator, Source, and Sustainer would say unto us. Tag, share, text, share, and tag. Almighty, I'm so thankful and grateful for this wonderful and golden opportunity. And as we connect in this wonderful spiritual community, I just want to thank you for guidance. I want to thank you for our level up experience. And I want to thank you for what our eyes have not seen and our ears have not heard. Yet those things which are prepared for us. Thank you. Thank you. In Yeshua's name, His way, His power, His consciousness. It is so. So it is. After you've tagged and shared, indicate it in the comment section. Let us know if you have shared the broadcast. Don't forget to share many likes and hearts while the broadcast is going on. And of course, follow me on the various social media handles or channels you see at the bottom of the screen. You are not powerless. You are not impotent. You are not helpless. You are not hapless. You are not even really weak. Now to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Type in the comment section, I am. While you're typing that in the comment section, I want you to declare and decree out loud, I am powerful. Come on, speak it and type it and write it. I am powerful. Oh, I feel it going through. I sense it. I know it. I embrace it. I accept it. I am powerful. That's right. Speak it, free it, own it, walk in it. I am. That's it. The love of spiritual tribe. I am powerful. And as soon as you own it, as soon as you embrace it, as soon as you recognize it, you're going to begin to see some wonderful, supernatural things take place in your reality. Yes, 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 I am powerful. What's good, family? Real quickly, tell me what's good. Tell me about your week thus far. If you're watching me live, it's midweek. And even if it's prior to midweek when you're watching or after midweek, I still want to know. I still want to know what's good. I want to know about your week. Comments still come up after the fact. And I will be alerted if you came in and watched this in replay. I am concerned about you. So talk back to me. Tell me real quickly how your week is going thus far. I'm more sure than one. How is your week going thus far? Let's see. My Krista says, doing good, enjoying my summer. Wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else want to share with us how your week is going thus far? Remember, this is subjective. It is strictly based on your opinion of your life. You're definitely in a place where we offer no judgment whatsoever. So tell me what's good and how is your week going thus far? I most definitely am interested in knowing that. Our resident therapist, Pastor Jerry Cotton, says, my week is peaceful and steady. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to share how your week is going thus far? I most definitely would like to know how your week is going thus far. And if not, I understand. I appreciate those who have shared with our audience how their week is going thus far. Now, I'm not going to uh, belabor the moment. I'm going to seize the moment and seize this time. And I'm going to pick up kind of where I left off. Again, I'm not sure what installment this is, but I'm going to continue the thought from some teaching I've been doing now for several weeks. And we discussed some powerful principles uh, this past Sunday as it relates to reality tunnels. And now I'm just going to take a few teaching opportunities um, and break down those fundamental things uh, that I have been discussing in terms of creating reality and shifting your reality. So I gave you a little bit more details on reality tunnels a couple of days ago. And tonight I'm going to begin the discussion with you on confirmation bias, and how it contributes to the shaping of our reality. And I got to admit, I know death and life is in the power of the tongue, but I'm feeling tired and weary in this moment. So I'm going to push through for you so I can get this information out to you. I want you to type in the comment section the words confirmation bias. Confirmation bias. And I want my assistants to prepare to put a scripture up that we can use as a reference for this. Matthew chapter 13, verses 14 through 15. Matthew chapter 13, verses 14 through 15. That's it. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias. Matthew chapter 13. Let me take that banner down. Verses 14 through 15, of course, in both versions. Okay, thank you, sir. This is part 3. All right, so we're shifting to confirmation bias tonight. That's what we're shifting to. And remember, we are talking about things that contribute to shifting reality, which is the blog series that I started weeks ago. And I will be putting up the 4th in the installment. I'll be putting up the 4th. Uh, it should be on tomorrow. Should be on tomorrow. King James says this, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their eyes are full of dull hearing, and their eyes have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. NIV, you will be hearing but never understanding. You will be seeing but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. This is not merely a physical description from both texts. It is talking about an internal condition of the listener and the hearer. Yeshua is describing a mental and psychological position that people have taken to intentionally close themselves off to hearing truth. They have closed themselves off to a new experience in terms of teaching because they have invested only in what they have learned and know up until that point. And that is a good place for us to leap from and immediately start having the discussion about confirmation bias. Because when people are stricken with a confirmation bias, and all of us are, you have closed yourself off to information, certain information. A confirmation bias is the tendency to seek, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs or values while discounting evidence that contradicts them. Yeshua was talking to a crowd that practiced Judaism and therefore was saying, in terms of context there, I'm trying to speak new truths to you and reveal new things to you, but your heart is hard. You've closed your eyes, you've closed your ears, You are stuck, I'm paraphrasing, in a bias, and therefore I can't really do what I want to do for you until you open yourself up to receive new information and new truth. This is a powerful definition that I just gave you about confirmation bias, the tendency to seek, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms one's pre existing beliefs or values while discounting evidence that contradicts them. We do this every day. Our minds are so conditioned and so steeped and baptized in what we've experienced, what we've developed philosophically, and what we have deposited and given roots to, that has become core beliefs, to the point that now we have a bias and don't understand that we are living according to pre-existing beliefs and values, and are therefore creating a reality from these pre-existing beliefs or values. Listen to this quote. Once you have a belief, you will tend to notice, seek out, and give more weight to information that supports that belief. End quote, Raymond S. Nickerson. Did you hear this? I want you to really embrace this teaching, because if you embrace this teaching and see yourself in it and see your own confirmation bias, listen, it's going to change the way you live. It's going to change the way you think. It's going to change the way you flow. It's going to change the way you make decisions. Consider the psychological roots that are developed by Peter Wasson through experiments that showed how people ignore falsifying evidence. This was expanded on by Leon Fastinger in 1957 in his theory of cognitive dissonance, where the mind seeks to resolve internal conflict between beliefs and experiments. More specifically, Peter Wasson conducted experiments demonstrating confirmation bias, a tendency to seek out information that confirms existing beliefs and ignore evidence that contradicts them. One such experiment involved participants trying to discover a rule about numbered triples, with participants generally focusing on confirming their initial hypothesis rather than actively trying to falsify it. Now, I'm not going to get into the particulars of the experiment, but the reason why, family, I have these kinds of discussions with you is because people will swear before God that the Almighty is showing them stuff and revealing things to them that is confirming truth, or confirming the pathway they should take, or confirming reality. And they do not understand that as a spiritual being, that whatever you think, imagine, and speak is the thing that shows up and manifests in your life. And from a confirmation bias, the world that you live in is being externally reflective of what exists internally. And whereas you think that an almighty divine being is putting these things in your pathway, or an almighty divine being is showing you certain things, in essence, you're flowing in this life, you're navigating through this life based on some kind of confirmation bias. I want you to hear me. And this is creating the reality that you live in, even to the point, family, that when we have this bias, again, experiments have proven this. I just quoted from Peter Wasson and also shared information with you from Leon Festinger, who followed up on his experimentation to prove, family, that people are really looking for things that confirm what they already believe. I'm going to say it again. People are looking for things to confirm what they already believe. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Let's continue on with our discussion from the viewpoint of mechanisms. There's a word called selective exposure, seeking out only those news sources, people, or books that confirm one's opinions. Then there's biased interpretation. Two people with opposing views may interpret the same event or statement in drastically different ways. Then there's what's called memory recall bias. People remember information that supports their views more clearly and forget or downplay conflicting information. Selective exposure, seeking out things again, even in the news, even in people, to confirm our own opinions. Biased interpretation, again, interpreting things that come through the filter and lenses of our life based on our own present belief system. And then this is another thing that's powerful. We can recall memory with bias. I'm going to say it again. We recall memory and can recall memory with a bias. People who specialize in this field have been saying to us for decades now that most of the time when you bring up a memory, it's not exactly the same as the moment the event occurred. Because of this, it's not so much a degrading of memory as it is the mind inserting sometimes other thoughts, feelings, and emotions into the memory and, in a sense, diluting it. So, even sometimes when you are remembering something, you are not remembering it 100% accurately. You're remembering it based on your belief, which is a bias, hear me, of who and what you were in the moment that the event happened. That's not to say that you are recalling it totally wrong. It's just saying, that is to say, from a scientific, sociological, and psychological point of view, that some of the stuff that we are recalling is not 100% accurate because of our own bias. Who and what we think ourselves to be amidst those sets of circumstances that happen. So it doesn't mean, again, that something is not bad or something is not good. It just means that when we recall it, there is a bias associated with it. I hope I'm making sense to some people. We'll make it makes a little bit more sense later. Let's look at religion for a few minutes. Let's look at religion for a few minutes and kind of, probe or plumb the depths of that for a little while. The example uh, based on religion is a person raised in a particular denomination may avoid studying alternative religious texts or traditions, believing theirs is the only valid path. Has anybody witnessed this before? Say yes or no. People who refuse to study or at least open their minds up when they are looking at other religious texts because they have a bias. Their denomination has taught them one way, and therefore they're not open to seeing anything else. And that's why we have so many sects and so many different groups, even within Christianity, as exist in all religions, because people tend to adhere to and be faithful to what was taught to them that they accepted as true. Here's a deeper insight. This leads to religious dogmatism and resistance to interfaith dialogue. It can perpetuate sectarian divides and hinder spiritual growth. Now, for the next few minutes, I want to talk to you about what's called religious echo chambers and how they reinforce belief systems. Religious echo chambers. There was an experiment that was done by Berger and Luckman in 1966. They kind of coined this term. And they describe echo chambers are social structures where individuals are primarily exposed to viewpoints and information that align with their existing beliefs while encountering limited exposure to dissenting or alternative perspectives. This phenomenon has been studied and discussed in the context of various areas, including religion and politics. The idea that religious echo chambers reinforce belief systems is consistent with the work of sociologists Peter Berger and Thomas Luckman in their book, The Social Construction of Reality. Listen, I have this book, it's in storage in Georgia. It is an awesome book, The Social Construction of Reality. Their work explores how individuals and groups socially construct reality through ongoing interactions and shared understandings. So, in other words, the things we hear the most, family, the philosophies we hear the most, and the people we have the most interaction with have a direct influence on what we believe. And this echo chamber, or echoing or hearing the same thing over and over and over again, um, is enacted or constructed through things that Berger and Luckman discuss in the book. And I don't have time to get into it. The first one is habitualization. And this basically describes where actions repeated frequently become patterns as reality. Patterns, excuse me, accepted as reality. Good gracious of life. In religious echo chambers, repeated exposure in the same religious doctrines and interpretations can lead to those beliefs becoming deeply ingrained and accepted as objective reality by the members. So, what is something that is subjective is actually something that is subjective is actually seen as being objective. You see it over and over and over and over and over again until you said, "This has to be God." You see it and hear it over and over and over and over again. That's habituation or habitualization until you're thinking, this is definitely God working like this, and it is the only way the divine works. Did you hear me? So you think it is objective reality, meaning that there is no taint of bias, there is no influence of bias, but you don't understand that habitual exposure to certain mechanisms or certain ideas or certain mechanics or seeing certain things happen through habitualization causes you to develop a core belief, then create this filter, and then turn around and expect God to work within this conceptual framework. The next thing is socialization. The social construction of reality involves a process of socialization where individuals, listen to this, internalize the norms, values, and beliefs of their social group, which ensures the continuation of the shared reality. So if it is a part of your social group that we shun people who leave us, that's internalized. That's why other people will shun you. And sometimes they take it from text and they say this is God speaking this, and then it's made a law in the congregation. And if you are resistant to certain ideas or certain beliefs or certain teachings, then if it is a part of the value norm to that if you violate what they consider to be a value, then you will find yourself lining up with other people, even if you disagree, but you'll line up with other people in how you treat the person who goes against the grain or appears to violate a law or rule. Am I making any sense to anybody? I'm not on Facebook to see if I'm getting any likes and hearts. I'm trying to teach you something. I'm trying to help you to understand that people are not as objective as it relates to their reality as they think they are. The next thing is what's called intersubjectivity. Now, Berger and Luckman emphasize intersubjectivity, the shared understanding and perception of reality among individuals within a social group. All right. So, again, there is a shared understanding and a shared perception. Hear what I'm saying today. Even if it's superstition, there's a shared perception and understanding. Did you hear what I said? I'm going to say it again. Even if it's superstition, even if it's myth, even if it don't make sense, there's a shared perception and understanding. In other words, their reality is now being co-created by a collective consciousness. They find ways to defend it. They find ways to uh, uh, espouse and present what they consider to be deeper truths because they have this inner connected subjectivity, which enables them to see and confirm each other's beliefs because why? It's the same belief. And I want you to understand that, hear me, don't be, it's good to be impressed, all right, about being in sync with people you meet because there's a confirmation that we have the same confirmation bias or they have the same beliefs. We call it when we somebody else feels something that we feel during the course of discussion, it made their baby leap, like the scripture described John leaping in Elizabeth's womb when Mary was conversing with Elizabeth. But I want you to understand that when pedophiles get together, the baby leaps in their womb too. So a lot of times people don't understand you can have terrible shared beliefs and feed off each other on these terrible, sadistic shared beliefs, these wrong shared beliefs can get you excited too. Okay. So I want you to understand that religious chambers can reinforce belief systems by amplifying existing beliefs. Again, it's only exposing individuals to opinions that support their current beliefs, strengthening those beliefs. I grew up in this. Limiting exposure to dissenting views, meaning it systematically excludes or downplays information, family, that contradicts the established beliefs, making those beliefs more resistant to change. When truth is presented, people are resistant to it purposely. Purposely. They are socially constructing reality, again, based on a confirmation bias. And that bias excludes light from coming in to the chamber. There's no such thing as new light unless it comes in the form, the image, the mold of what the group collectively says is God, is divine. I want you to catch what I'm saying today. The next thing is uh, limiting exposure. I just mentioned that. The next thing is promoting group think, creating an environment where there is pressure to conform to the group's beliefs, discouraging critical thinking and open discussion of alternative perspectives. In many places, critical thinking is abhorred. I'm going to say it again. Critical thinking is abhorred in most religions. If it goes outside of what they believe the book says, or what they believe how the book should be interpreted, or what their group has established as truth, it is discouraged. You're considered to be off. You're considered to be wild. You're considered to be influenced by the devil or by evil. Again, because that confirmation bias says this is the only truth. We have no other room for dissenting opinions, for different opinions other than the opinion that's up in here. Listen to this, even if it's true, then there's a manipulation of trust, shifting individuals' trust away from the external sources and institutions toward those within the echo chamber who reinforce accepted beliefs. Y'all getting some great teaching on this platform. I don't know if y'all know it, but y'all getting some great teaching on this platform. The average person doesn't even know when they're a part of these groups that they are victims of these psychological and sociological principles. You are discouraged from fellowshipping outside your group. You are discouraged from reading sources of information that contradict what was taught in your little group. And when people rise up in your life who could be teaching you objective truth, could be teaching you spiritual principles, should be showing you something that will actually help you, they will demonize that person, or they will get to you, try and plant seeds to disconnect you from that source. Because in their minds, you're going straight to hell, or in their minds, you've gotten off track. In their minds, you've strayed, you've disappointed God, you've grieved the Spirit, and you are no longer in alignment with the group here. And not only is your soul being threatened, but you're threatening the group tank and the group think and the group philosophy and the group way. Hear me, family. And if you just tuned in, when this broadcast is over, you need to go back and hear the things I just shared about confirmation bias amongst religious groups. Now, I know this is challenging for people to process, but if you open yourself up and understand the multifold, multidimensional um, facets of what is truth, and how God, the divine, the source and sustainer, is not limited to one prism, one doorway, one room, one anything, then you will understand that you cannot shut yourself off to other possibilities and grow. No, to grow. If nothing else, you need to know what other people are thinking. If nothing else, you need to have an understanding of why other people are thinking what they're thinking. But many people will not allow themselves to have this experience because they are committed to one experience that they've seen some results using. And I want you to understand this. I'm getting ready to say something. I'm gonna stop here. I'm not gonna get in a race tonight. I got I got a lot more stuff on this paper I can discuss. I want you to understand that confirmation bias also manifests in prayer. Confirmation bias also manifests in your conceptual framework of God. Have you ever heard people say that ain't God? Who's ever heard somebody say that ain't God? Type in yes or no in the comment section. Who's ever heard somebody say that ain't God? God don't work like that or something like that. I want to see a yes or no in the comment section. Whatever your experience is, I want to know. I want to hear it in the comment section. Real quickly, yes or no. Okay, we got some yeses. Well, you have an understanding now of why. Within this reality tunnel is a confirmation bias that they have. And their concept of God doesn't work a certain way, doesn't do certain things, doesn't use certain people, doesn't love certain people. That concept of God don't deal with certain situations, circumstances. Their concept of God lives within the psychological framework, the psychological box that they are. And they believe this again, sometimes most of the time based on group teaching, based on their connection with the group, based on what they've been taught, to the point of being dogmatic. And they can see similar things happening in somebody else's group, religious group, that don't believe the same way they believe, and they would just say stuff like, well, it's just God having mercy on them, it's just God having grace on them. Or sometimes they would even throw that other fella in there and say, that's the devil blessing them, that's not God. I want you to catch what I'm saying today. Why is this important? It's important because the confirmation bias is working right now while I'm speaking, right now while I'm talking to you. Your confirmation bias is trying to decide, is he telling the truth or not? Is he gone too far? The confirmation bias might be saying to some folks, this sound kind of shaky here. Your confirmation bias might be saying, this don't sound like the word. This don't sound like scripture. This don't sound like God. Bells and whistles. Just because you have bells and whistles go off in you, don't mean it's God or the creator confirming anything. It means you're uncomfortable. Your conceptual framework, your subconscious is uncomfortable. That part of you that has been taught all this stuff is freaking out right now because it's out of bounds. It's don't sound like what I've been taught. And I've been taught that when people start talking like this, they'll prepare you for folk like me. When they start talking like this, don't deal with them. When they start talking like this, they didn't got off on the wrong track. When they start talking like this, they didn't backslid. When they start talking like this, that ain't God. It's a confirmation bias. That's all it is a confirmation bias. You've been fed this by your community and by your group for years and years and years. I have presented in a small way information to some people, family, to show them how their belief system is flawed, how their interpretation of the text is flawed, how there needs to be different viewpoints taken of scripture that's flawed. Evidence. They can't accept it. It's not in their reality tunnel, and it offends their confirmation bias. I'm going to say it again. It offends their confirmation bias. It insults their confirmation bias. Watch this. And it insults their concept of God. It insults their definition of truth. And they take it personal because their identity is wrapped up in this confirmation bias as being the truth and nothing but the truth. And they don't give a hoot about what you showed them. They don't give a hoot about your evidence and your proof. While you're talking, they'll be thinking of ways to defend what they believe. While you're talking, they'll be thinking of sources they can quote to you to throw back at you. They're not really fully processing what you're saying. Their confirmation bias has already said it's not true, it's not false, I'm not accepting it. My eyes are closed, my ears are closed, my mind is shut down because there is nothing else. Confirmation bias keeps them in prison, and that's their reality, their God, their faith, their abilities, their relationship, their education, their house, their car, their families, their lives, their livelihoods, their health, their love, their family, their social life, their religious life, their spiritual life, their political life, their love life, their vocational life. It all lives in a confirmation bias of religion. And that's where most will be until they step out of their bodies and cross over to the other side, not knowing the whole time that some of the answers to their prayers are coming from confirmation bias, not knowing the whole time that some of the things that they say are confirmation, confirmation, confirmation is you confirming because you think that God only works in this tunnel, this way, in this tunnel, according to what you know and understand. You don't understand, you are projecting into the world based on your confirmation bias, the reality you have. That's why some people then enter into certain professions. Their confirmation bias taught them you can't be a lawyer. It taught them there's certain jobs you can't have because it taught them they were sinful. It taught them that it could create distance between them and God. That was their reality. So guess what? They had things pop up in their world to say to them, just like Reverend so and so said, or Elder so and so said, Bishop so and so said. Yeah, somebody else said the same thing. It will take you away from God. Yeah, it will drag you down, and you won't be the person you're supposed to be. You put that in your life, and you blamed it on the Almighty. Oh, that door was closed. When God closes one door, He opens another. No, you closed it. You thought it should not be open. And you were highly suspicious of the door when it opened because your confirmation bias said, I'm not supposed to have a door like that. I'm not supposed to have an experience like that. I'm not supposed to have a life like that. I'm not supposed to, have a profession like that. Or I'm not supposed to have a relationship like that. That's not of God. That's the devil. Or that's not for me. Or that's off limits for me. And when it don't work out, you blame it on God confirming it. When you confirmed it, you shut it down. You destroyed it. You sabotaged it. It's a confirmation bias. And it is absolutely, positively your reality. Let me know real quickly what you thought about the teaching tonight. And I would most appreciate it if you had something to share tonight, no matter how small. Your donations are appreciated and put to good use. Real quickly, give me some feedback on the teaching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about tonight's presentation. And I'm going to release you in just a few minutes. Our resident therapist said, let all of us be aware of our confirmation biases. Yes, yes. We don't like certain people because of a confirmation bias. We don't believe certain things are possible because of a confirmation bias. Again, it is you creating that this is what real truth is, and you live within the confines and borders of those beliefs. Wow. You're hearing, as Yeshua said, but you're not hearing. You're seeing, but you're not seeing because you closed your heart and your mind to new revelatory experiences because somebody told you that only what had been introduced to you before was the truth and nothing but the truth, so help them go. And now, your central nervous system believes it's the truth. Your brain stem believes it's the truth. Your subconscious believes it's the truth. All right, family. Love you so dearly. And Almighty, I thank you for the lives that have been impacted and empowered by this teaching. We be released from frigid, frozen, unproductive confirmation biases. And may we humble ourselves and allow you to truly teach us of what it means to be one with you, to have relationship with you, to love, to prosper, to be fulfilled, to live in abundance, and actually do what is your will. Thank you by Yeshua's name, power, consciousness, and way. It is so. And so it is. I want you to type it in the comment section, $AG Green. Type that in the comment section. $AG Green. That is the Cash App that you can use. $AG Green or $AG Green Enterprises. But type $AG Green. All right. Love y'all so dearly. I'm releasing you with the Shalom blessing. Y'all can pass that on to your family members and tell them to bless your teacher. This is a season of love, a season of appreciation, a season of increase. Thank you so much for typing it in the comment section. Matter of fact, this is what I want y'all to do over the next couple of days. You know what I want y'all to do? I want you to partner with me. I was wondering why I had you put that up. I didn't know. It just came to me to do that. I want you to pray and meditate over that Cash App over the next few days. I appreciate those who give and those who tithe, but we want to add other people to this circle. I want you to pray that that Cash App goes off many times. We don't put no time period on it, but just take a day or two, pray, meditate, affirm, and confess with me. I don't know, I just sensed the leading to share that with you because you're powerful. You are powerful. If there's nothing else you're going to learn from listening to me, it's going to be that you're powerful. You don't require anybody else really to pray for you. That's right. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you so much. And I love you. And I believe that you're praying, that you're going to speak over that, and things are going to manifest quickly in this now moment because you agreed with me. Love you. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing, nothing broken. It is so. So it is. Enjoy your day.